everyone. I'm Nina, and I'm one of those crazy Finnish podcasters who try to record their episodes outside whenever it's possible. And today, this is kind of borderline case, but yeah, everything's possible, I guess. We'll see how my tablet computer uh, survives this. But anyway, I'm here. Uh, for me, I have two big reasons why I try to do this outside and not in our apartment, and that is the first of these two reasons: the apartment and the size of it, which isn't big. Uh, we live in a two-bedroom apartment, and there are four of us, and the dog in there. And especially now that it's winter time, we have our winter gear out from the basement. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and it's just too much. I, I have grown to like doing this, but tidying up the place before doing it or recording, no, that's not. It it will bring too much negativity to doing these podcasts, so or doing these episodes. So yeah, I try to do this outside because it's so small and all the things are mm, all over the place in our apartment. I have my show notes down here. Sorry. Um, yeah. So and then there's the question of lighting inside. Um, as you may or may not know, our days are getting shorter and shorter when we're going towards the winter solstice. And today the sun rose at 8:15 and it will set at a quarter to 4. So that's about 7.5 hours of well, daylight. It's light a bit before sunrise and then of course a bit afterwards. But anyway, the days are getting shorter and shorter when we're getting towards December 20th or 21st, is it? So, so the light is getting fewer, or uh, uh, yeah, it's there isn't that much light, especially indoors, and we don't have that kind of lights, lamps inside. So uh, it'll be too yellow or just plain too dark to record inside the apartment. I may have to try and figure something out when we get to the really cold weathers, but so far I'm doing it here. And lighting is another thing, actually, connected to the second reason, which is everything that is around me. Uh, I will have um, added a small 360 video clip of where I am at the moment. I'm sitting by a lake. I've been by the same lake before, I think 2 episodes ago. That was a really sunny day. I had the sun in my eyes and I didn't know where the camera was because I couldn't see the screen. And oh, well, I'm in uh, a different place, but on the same lake. And it's not sunny, as you can see. It's a very gray day. We have a tiny bit of snow. Those tiny little snowflakes that hurt your eyes when you're riding a bike. That's the kind of weather we're having right now. Yeah, but besides the fact that, yeah, it's snowing a little, and that's exceptional this time of the year. We don't usually get snow this early. but we did this year. Um, but everything around me, I'm pretty happy with nature that we have around us here in Jyväskylä, and not just Jyväskylä, which is not a that big of a city really. We have, I think, 135,000 inhabitants in Jyväskylä, but it's the same in other cities in Finland, in the bigger cities too, even in the capital, Helsinki. Uh, Actually, Helsinki is by the sea, so that brings kind of a different perspective to the city, and that's nice. But yeah, so nature is very close wherever we go. We don't have to, drive hours and hours to go to the forest. And I think there's been some research on being in the forest and what it does to a human being, which is positive things. The forest, or being in the forest, has some really good effects on your soul, or on your inner self. It relieves stress, and I think you don't have to go to the forest more than for 15 minutes or so to get your, I don't know, heart rate a little down, and really release relief, get some relief for your stress. Yeah, so I'm proud of nature around us in Jyväskylä and in Finland, and that's another reason why I do want to do this outside, because I like to show it to others, either other Finns or foreigners somewhere outside Finland. Yeah. So welcome to the 8th episode of Nina in Knitting. As I said, my name is Nina, but you can find me on Ravelry as Ninimo. And I have a Ravelry group called Nina in Knitting, and I have an episode thread for each episode in the group. So feel free to check that out. I'll put it in the description box here on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, November 9th. The temperature is about -5 degrees Celsius, and that's plus 23 degrees Fahrenheit. So not that warm, but not extremely cold either. The difference between this and I think 2 weeks ago, when it was below zero, is that we have snow, just a bit of snow, but anyway, we have snow, so the ground is frozen, and of course, it makes it feel colder. And since the sun is not shining at the moment, I don't get the heat from the sun either. So, but I have my winter coat on, and I'm sitting on my backpack, so I hopefully won't freeze my ass behind off. Yeah. So we have a bit of snow. It came, I think it started a couple of days ago, further south from here, in Helsinki, and I think at least Porvoo, they have 10 or 15 centimeters of snow. We don't have that much, just, I don't know, a centimeter or two, but it it makes everything look so much cleaner and brighter, of course. It brings more light to your surroundings when the ground isn't black and it's white. Yeah, so to my knitting, I have one finished object, a couple of works in progress, and just one stash enhancement that I haven't already cast on. Um, the finished object that I have is something that I can't show you yet. I talked about it last time. I was test knitting a pair of socks for Heidi Nick, and well, it's sort of standard Heidi Nick quality, gorgeous socks with some beads. So I can't show you the socks, but I can show you the yarn I used. I have it somewhere here. This is Hondo cashmere sock yarn in this gorgeous bright sunny bright. This is a bit blown out, but this is more accurate, I think. So this orange, I think it was earnest crazy orange or something, the colorway. So this is an MCN base, so 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% polyamide, and it's very soft, like they tend to be, the MCN base yarns. Very, very nice. I've used this same base from Hondo before. I made two pairs of socks on the Tour de Sock last summer from this same yarn from other colors. And I actually had bought this for Tour de Sock, but I forgot to bring it with me when we went to my parents in July. And that was when one of the patterns was released and I had to cast it on right away. So this was still at my apartment and was waiting for a project to use it for. And this is just gorgeous, and I can't wait to show you the socks because they turned out terrific. I had some beads, but no, there are no beads here now. So the beads go really well together with this one. The socks I made that I showed you last time with the really dark, different variegated purple glitter sock yarn and the beads that were see-through. That was not a match made in heaven, but this one really was. This bright orange, kind of like the sun, and then the beads have some silver or something. It's really, really nice. Yeah, but that is my finished object. And I have this much yarn left. I haven't weighed it yet, but a bit. Not enough for another pair of socks, but enough to use in something else, I'm sure. Yeah, so the pattern will be released in December, and I'll show you the socks then. And yeah, so that's the finished object that you didn't get to see, but you will in December in one of the future episodes of Nina and Knitting. Right, sorry, getting crazy because I'm getting a little cold. Okay, so works in progress. I had uh, started this last time. They were another pair of Rea verses by Rea Järvenpää. I finished. I had finished one sock, and then I had started this sock. Just I was here last time. Now I have two socks. They're on these mannequin legs, and then I have made the sort of lace bands and this decorative stripe in here. And I have the soles too, somewhere in this bag. I have made both soles, but I have only crocheted one trim and not entirely, not finished with it yet. This is how it looks. Okay, so this is the sole part and this is the, I don't know, trim, brim, what is it? Goes over the sock like this. And you're supposed to have, so I used this pink Novita, all of this yarn is Novita Seitsemänveljestä. I have a ball here, a yarn ball, so I can show you what it looks like. And Novita Seitsemänveljestä is a really, really basic Finnish yarn. You can find it in just about any grocery stores. It's very inexpensive, very affordable. There are 150 grams in one skein, and there are about 300 meters in one skein. So that's 200 meters per 100 grams. And the contents is 25% polyamide and 75% wool. It's not a soft yarn per se. Oh no, there's a train coming. Sorry. Okay, I think you can hear me better now. There's a train track just across the lake, and there was this long freight train that went by, so made a lot of noise. Yeah, so I was saying about this Novita Seitsemänveljestä, that it's not the softest yarn in the world, really not, but it's a good thick yarn for socks. The sort of socks that I really need at the moment. I think that fingering weight yarn is very nice to work on, and I like the socks that I have been able to make out of it, but I need 2 pairs of socks on me at the moment because I'm so cold. Or just 1 pair out of this yarn because it's I think it's Aran weight, 200 meters per 100 grams. Yeah, so all of these different colorways are of this same yarn, and this purple is something I'm making these for my friend, and she said that she wanted something girly, and she decided that this purple was girly enough, but I just suggested that I use this pink for these stripes and for the trims in here, or the rims, to make it more girly. But when I changed colors, it became a bit more difficult to decide the different decorations, because you're supposed to have a stripe around the brim here, and it's usually black. When this part is in white, this stripe is black, and then you have another black stripe in the middle here. It doesn't go around the whole sock or slipper, but anyway, you have 2 stripes of the same color normally. But I'm not sure. This one, the yarn I'm using now, the yarn I started with, is this dark gray that I used for the soles, because I thought that the black would be a bit of too much contrast between this nice pink and then, plain black. But I'm not too convinced with this gray either, so I'm going to have to ask for my friend's opinion on this, if she wants it in this gray color, or if she wants it in black, or maybe even white. Yeah, white might be okay also. And then she could have the lower stripe either in black or maybe in this same purple color as the sock itself. I don't know. And possibly the laces in pink. I'll have to ask for her opinion, but they are Rea versus in the making. And sorry, What else do I have on my needles? Um, yes, I started with the lace weight yarn. And I'm not sure if I mentioned that I've never ever knit with lace weight yarn before. I haven't tried it ever before. And I'm not sure if it was a good idea or not. Uh, I'm making a shawl for my niece, one of my nieces, and I'm using, let's see, it's Regina Marie. The pattern is called Regina Marie, Regina Marie. I don't know how you should say that. I'm pretty sure that my copy is, yeah, I'm not gonna show that because the picture is not good. The print isn't good, but yes. So I have started the shawl, but I'm not sure if this is what I was looking for. Not sure if this is what it should be. Uh, will it look right after blocking? Because the pattern is really, really beautiful. The pictures I've seen are very nice. I'm showing the wrong side to you, sorry. So this is the right side. I'm not convinced. Huh. And I know it's gonna be a lot of work doing all of it. And then if I'm not happy with it, then I don't know. I like the color though. It's nice. And my nieces are almost 12. I think they're 11, 8, and 9 or 10. Anyway, one of them just had their birthday, the middle one. She's 9, maybe. Anyway, so I think this color will be nice for a girl of that age. And I'm kind of guessing that the pattern is, they'll like the pattern. They'll appreciate it. I know. I'm pretty sure they'll appreciate the outcome, whatever it is, and I'm pretty sure that my sister will also make sure that they do. She knows, she appreciates everything handmade, and she's very eco person. She's a environmentally friendly person. Yeah, anyway, maybe I'll just go on and hope that it gets nice after I walk it. Maybe some of you might have any ideas, any opinions. Yeah, so that's one work in progress. My hands getting really cold. Oh. And then there's a third one that I started just yesterday. It's for my daughter, and I just started it, so I only have the rib here. So this is going to be a hoodie for my. Oh man, these cables are just so stiff now because it's freezing. Yeah, so yeah, I'm using a Novita Knits pattern. Uh, the original pattern has an Angry Birds pig in the front and a pocket, and it's the hoodie itself is green, but well, it's gotta be pink for my girl. And this yarn, I just bought it from a fairly new local yarn store we have here in Jyväskylä. We have 3 yarn stores, I think, and then all the grocery stores that have yarns. But this yarn is Järvo alpaca solo, and it's 100% alpaca, so it's very, very soft. I think it may be a bit ticklish, but I'm not gonna let it bother me or her. It's really nice, and I think it will be really, really warm too. It's because it's very, very sort of has all this fur. It's maybe not the nicest yarn to work with, being me and a really, really tight knitter. And with these bamboo circular needles that I bought from eBay, I think last year I bought a set with maybe 12 different size of uh, circular needles, and this cord, which is totally frozen at the moment, is usually very flexible. It's a rubbery thing, so it's very, very catchy, and that with the alpaca is not a nice combination. Plus the joint with my handwriting, and it's not handwriting, with my knitting, with my tight knitting is not a very good thing. So mm, this is 3.75 sorry, millimeter needles. I was going to try use 3.5 millimeter for the rib, but I just couldn't find it. I had to put it somewhere. But I'm gonna change it into 4 millimeters when I get past the ribbing, and I think my better 4 millimeter needles are on my daughter sock scarf, which is waiting for Christmas to be over and for me to have time to knit whatever I want for myself and not for Christmas presents, which is it is nice to make Christmas presents. It's not that, but it's just the deadline, which just dawned on me uh, a while ago. Goodness gracious, it's November and Christmas is in December. Wow. So gotta get a move on it. But yeah, this will be a hoodie, and I talked about it I talked about it before. I'm thinking about. I think it's the right term is. Somebody said double stitching. So after I finish the hoodie, I'm going to stitch an image, one of the dogs in the Paw Patrol. Yeah, so that's what I just started yesterday. Yeah, and then I have that's all my whips, and then I have the stashing hat, and oh man, I'm so cool, crazy. Stash enhancement. When I was buying the alpaca yarn, I wanted to buy some sock yarn for a pair of socks that I was going to knit. Uh, I'm not sure when, but this color, this is some sort of petrol blue. So this is opal uh, fingering weight, I think, yarn, and it's the same um, content as the Novita 7 So that's 75 Chevrolet, whatever it is, virgin wool, that's in English, virgin wool, and 25% polyamide, but this is fingering weight. And I think this color will be something I can use for the puppy in my daughter's hoodie. One of the colors, I think there are 9 colors in the dog. Yes, so this is also for that and for a pair of socks. Some basic, very basic, okay yarn. Yeah. Right. I finished with all the knitting and yarn stuff. Yes. Then the last one. I've been talking about some podcasts at the beginning of my episode or my episodes. This time, I don't have any new ones to mention because I'm finally up to date with Les Aiguilles du Nord, the French-speaking podcast I was watching. I've been binge watching, and since I've been watching a lot of that, I've fallen behind on just about anything else. So I have some catching up to do with all the others, and uh, but I thought that I'd just briefly tell you about how I'm just checking the time, where I watch the podcasts and in what sort of situations. So if um, I wake up alone, uh, meaning that the rest of the family will just continue sleeping, and I'm the first one to leave, and I have breakfast alone. I always have some sort of podcast keeping me company while I have my breakfast. I have my earbuds on, and I listen to you guys. Um, it's very very nice, spending 15 minutes talking with a friend, sort of, or not talking, but listening to a friend, maybe talking back a little from time to time, but Uh, and if I don't have time in the morning, or if my kids and my husband wakes up at the same time with me, then there's the hassle over breakfast, so I don't watch podcasts then. But the usual situation is after the kids go to sleep, and I take my knitting and uh, spend a few hours. Uh, Yesterday I stayed up at 1:30, I think, knitting, watching podcasts. So yeah, that's when I have my alone time. And I knit and I listen and watch podcasts and just enjoy, uh, you know, listening to somebody who's talking about a subject that I really like, and getting to know them. Their knitting, of course, but people often tell about different things in their lives too. So feels like I get to know them as people too. So I think it might be a little weird, really meeting somebody in person, somebody that I've been watching in their podcasts, because I feel like I know them. But if they met me, the feeling would not be mutual, even if they had been watching some of my episodes. I don't think it's the same because we haven't been talking with each other in that way. Anyway, so that would be kind of cool, meeting somebody in real life. We do have a sort of crafts and yarn festival coming in 2 weeks, I think. That's in Tampere. It's about an hour and a half by train south from us. I'm thinking about going there, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see. It's not 2 weeks from now. It's actually like not this weekend, but the next. Anyway, I'll see. We'll have to decide uh, what to do, but I'd really like to go there, and I might see some. Finnish podcasters there because I know that a couple of them are going. Anyway, yeah, but that's what I do. I do think that the podcasters are, in a way, friends of mine. And whenever see that one of them has a new episode out, I'm like, it's so nice to get some new news from her or him, of course. And, nice to hear what they've been doing, what they've been up to, and so it's kind of nice. Very, and I do have some friends who knit, but I don't see them very often. So, so thanks for everybody who uh, records their knitting stuff. I really like it. Yeah. Okay. So just a general thing about what I'm doing with my life at the moment for this weekend. We have a couple dog shows coming up this weekend here in Jyväskylä. There is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel specialty on Friday, and I'll be working there in the ring. And there's a French judge called Céline Botucci, Joquel, or something. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Céline, anyway, but we're not going to uh, be on first name terms. Anyway, so I'll be working with her or in her ring this Friday and on Saturday. And Sunday we have the Jyväskylä International Dog Show, and the same judge will be judging there. I'll be working in her ring on Saturday, but on Sunday I'll be in another ring. We'll have two judges, a Norwegian judge called Åge Jetnes. Never met. I forgot to Google if it's a man or a woman. Anyway, Åge Jetnes, and then another judge will take over halfway through the day, and that's somebody called Ruth Wagner from Luxembourg. So that will be fun, seeing dogs. I actually don't get to see that much of them because I'm the writing secretary, so I usually just have my eye on the paper and I'm writing whatever the judge is saying. And they tend to talk pretty quickly, and I have to get it all on paper. So, but it's a nice way to spend your weekend anyhow. And uh, since I'll be working with a French woman on Friday and Saturday, I'll get to speak French. So that's always something that I enjoy when I get to practice my French and not just teach it. Right, okay, now I'm getting really cold. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did and you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you're not haven't joined our Ravelry group, I'll have the link to the episode thread in the down bar in the description box. So just click on the link and join the group. And please leave me comments either here on YouTube or there on the episode thread. So I'll probably see you in a couple of weeks' time. Bye.